Hello, this is Pastor Phil coming to you with your weekly devotion. We had in our lectionary readings this past week a reading from James, which I don't know if you know this, but James was Martin Luther's least favorite book of the Bible. It's one of my favorites, but I think that, of course, Luther had a different project that he was about, which was ridding the church of works righteousness. And so when the book of James talks about living out our faith, it obviously just wasn't part of a plank in his platform, so to speak. It wasn't centering on what he was trying to emphasize, and so that's why he didn't like it as much. But it's still a very important balance to our understanding of the faith. And in particular, we had that most famous section of James this past week, which says, "Faith without works is dead." Now, I think if you lift that phrase, "faith without works is dead," from its context, it sounds kind of un-Lutheran, doesn't it? Because we talk about faith alone as being what grants us access to God's presence and also gives us salvation and forgiveness of sins. And those things can be true at the same time as what James is really trying to get at, because that preceding passage, right before he says faith without works is dead, is about mercy for our brothers and sisters. And in particular, it says, if you see someone who's in need and then say to them, "Peace be with you. I hope you stay warm and have plenty to eat," and sort of this just like, hope everything goes okay, but then you don't do anything about it to make sure that person has what they need. He points out that there's a great divide there that shouldn't be. One of the things I've heard people say before is, prayer should be a guide for our action. So if we sit here in church and pray that people are taken care of and have what they need, but then don't ever do anything about it, what does that sort of say about how deeply we care about it? If we truly care, we'll pray and we'll act. It's sort of like sometimes in human relationships, people become frustrated with friendships because a person will say that they're there for someone else, but it never really gets lived out. They're never really there for them when things truly go wrong. I heard some comedian say once that you never know how many real friends you have until it's time for you to move. Who shows up when the moving truck's there? Those are counted as your real friends. So there should be a lived out action component, not just to friendship, but with our relationship to God. That doesn't mean we won't mess it up. That doesn't mean we won't leave things out. But as James rightly points out, when we have faith in God, when we have love for our brothers and sisters, there will be things that we feel led to do, that we actually accomplish, that we actually do. And it doesn't just stay intellectual. It just doesn't stay theoretical. Because, our faith, is not just meant to be something on paper. All the things we have on, I used to joke that, I had so many experiences in other churches that were kind of strange when I was a young person that it's no wonder that I ended up in a church where everything we do together is in print ahead of time, right? I don't like to be surprised when I go to worship service. But the things that are on that paper, the things that are in print that we say together, that we pray together, that we sing together, it shouldn't stay there. It's not supposed to just stay there. It's supposed to be a blueprint for us to act afterwards. So the things that we say together guide what we do on our own and as a group. So thanks be to God for James, who offers us a reminder not to leave things theoretical, but to live out our faith. And may you have joy in doing so this week. We'll see you soon.